Joe Biden was asked whether he agrees with defunding the police. He was attacked by Donald Trump as someone who doesn't support law enforcement. He wants to take funding away from our brave and heroic cops. And of course, that's the framing that we're going to hear from Donald Trump. And you would expect, or at least hope, that as Trump's opponent, he would demonstrate a little strength in his response. But that is not what we got from Joe Biden. In fact, Andrew Bates, who's a Biden spokesperson, said Vice President Biden does not believe that police should be defunded. He hears and shares the deep grief and frustration of those calling out for change and is driven to ensure that justice is done and that we put a stop to this terrible pain. Now, Biden backs advocates' calls to increase spending on social programs separate from local police budgets, but he also wants more funding for police reforms, such as body cameras and training on community policing approaches. In fact, he's proposed $300 million in additional funding for local police departments in order to retrain them and help them with some of these reforms.
See, this is why I'm against the slogan of defund the police, because it lets Biden off the hook completely. When people hear that Joe Biden does not want to defund the police, he'll probably get more popular. But if you look at his actual proposals, they're crap. They're terrible on this. Listen to this. Okay, so Anna read you some, but also funding for public schools, summer programs, mental health, substance abuse treatment separate from funding for police. Now, you might say, hey, those are all good things. Yes, but those are all things we already have. And Biden is saying, well, let's increase the funding a little bit for them. This reads like nothing will fundamentally change. He talks about community policing programs. We were trying that under Clinton. So, this is just tired retreads, diversifying police departments. We were supposed to do that 70 years ago. Additional funding for body-worn cameras. We already have that. This is absolutely drivel. It's nothing. It's Biden saying, hell no, I am not part of this movement. I am not progressive. And I will not touch the culture of policing in this country. And if you see his track record on that, it makes sense. He's very right-wing on policing. And he did the 94 crime bill, which was help the cops get militarized and be atrocious, overwhelming force body that they are today. So, yeah, Biden's a disaster. This is a terrible, terrible proposal that does nothing.
Yeah, does nothing. And by the way, I forgot to mention the $300 million that he's proposing would also go toward hiring more police. More police to do community policing.
And by the way, where's the activists who are yelling at the Mayor Fry and all the other people? You should be yelling at Joe Biden to get an actual proposal. He's got a great chance of being the next president of the United States of America. Try for actual change. That's the guy who can do it. Don't let him off the hook with this nonsense.